they are basically not the same race or not the same clan or whatever of that the original Predator is.
Yeah, I would say race because they look a little different.
Yeah, they're just like, I mean, they're probably the same species, but like, it's the same thing with humans. There's a lot of variation in humans. Anyway, I'm not going to go into genetic shit.
Yeah, different breed. Let's just say different breed.
Different breed of predators, yeah, clan, breed, whatever, and they're obviously at war with each other. The one we're used to from the first two movies.
Well,
and
I don't think they were at war because they were sort of taking orders from the one with the jawbone.
Yeah.
So the guy.
Well,
Lawrence
no.
Fishburne describes it as sort of a blood feud.
Well, the three of them were working together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one that was on the chain. Well, there's a predator that's chained up.
The bigger ones are the ones in charge, and the bigger ones were the ones that were having the blood feud, and the bigger one was the one that had the jawbone on his mask.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess there was some dissension in the ranks. Is probably a better way to put it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Either way, doesn't matter. They all get dusted.
Yep. But I had a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, final verdict on the movie. I give it. I would say on a true scale of 1 to 10, with like 10 being excellent, 5 being truly average, and 1 being absolute garbage. I'd give it. I would give it a 5, maybe 5.5.
I give it about a 6.
It's a truly average movie. I mean, the writing is god awful. I mean, the exposition is not handled well at all. But at the very least, I mean, the
Predator shit was fun.
Yeah, it was fun to watch for the Predator shit. I mean, it was at least consistent.
Yeah,
and the special effects were pretty decent.
Yeah, even the CG was pretty good and sparingly used. It was
the dog creatures didn't look all that great, but
they weren't overused.
Yeah, they look like someone just jumbled everything together.
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, the movie is paced pretty well. I mean,
yeah, I that in this day and age, that's a miracle
because it was paced almost exactly like Predator 1.
Yeah, hey, at least if
I mean, there's
you go with something that works. Go with something that works.
They didn't do the line, but there is a get to the chapa scene.
Yeah,
I have to say that I probably wouldn't want to watch the movie again. Where would you put the original movie? Well, first off, where would you rate this movie? I'm sorry.
My personal rating would be around 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's not a classic. It's very. I mean, it depends a lot on your love of the original.
Yeah. Okay. Well, where would you put the original movie?
About 8 out of 10.
About 8. I'd give it probably 8 or 8.5.
8.5. Yeah. It's not. I mean, it is a. I mean, the first one is a. It's totally a genre movie, but there were so many elements put into it that made it transcend its genre.
Okay, even though I sort of picked it apart for the stupid shit, it's not a movie that's going to piss you off when you're watching it.
No.
I mean, characters and their motivations are absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
So take that for what it's worth. And if you believe that character breeds drama, then you're going to be disappointed. But
well, yeah, this is very much. I mean, the first one was not. I mean, I don't know. The first one, for some reason, I think it had just a good cast. I think they just had the right people in the parts. The parts were pretty stock characters, and really the dialogue of the first one isn't that great either. But you have people who.
Well, I can remember when I watched the first one. I don't really think I remember any lines being, oh my god, that was a stupid line.
No.
So I mean, it's not. I mean, the movie was just a tight action movie.
Yeah, just really well done, and with an awesome monster.
With fucking Arnold.
Yeah,
this movie doesn't have a fucking Arnold.
No.
I mean,
Adrian Brody basically does the Christian Bale thing, just sort of.
Yeah, he does. Power. He really does the Christian Bale kind of voice.
Yeah, well, not too bad. Not as bad as the Batman voice, but all right. I didn't think it was that bad in that respect.
Yeah, but I mean, all things considered, he does his job adequately, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
his dialogue was mostly exposition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. But he played the. I bought him as a tough guy, more or less.
Yeah.
In the climactic scene of both Predator movies, this the hero without a shirt on.
Well, what's really funny though is that, but the thing is that in this one, the reason why he does that is because of the exposition. I mean, that the info that basically the character from the first one, not the character from the first one, the female sniper character, she basically tells the entire story of the first one very briefly, and in one scene about halfway through the movie, and she of course explains how Arnold was able to defeat the Predator in the first one. So that's where,
which actually it doesn't really work because they show him with the Predator vision, the heat vision, and they could still see his outline. Especially like when he was standing in
well, I
front
think
of the
he
fire.
had. Well, yeah, but he had some. I don't know. It's
so-
kind of consistent.
So it was
with that
it was a
kind of
weird scene actually of sort of exposition crossing with exposition
thing. Yeah.
and creating a kind of really nerdy singularity of exposition. Resulting
which
in
we're circling
resulting
like
in
a
a
dream.
copy of a fantastic scene from 1987
Yes.
in the modern era, which didn't really work that well. Anyway, I will say I was expecting, especially with Robert Rodriguez being involved in
Yeah.
the movie, I was expecting some at least.
From what I've
decent
heard, he was
actors.
pretty hands off. He just let the guy do what he did. But you know,
Yeah,
he-
but I mean, like I was expecting like one of the guys to come up with like a rocket launcher and a guitar case.
Oh yeah, something crazy like that.
That would have been awesome. Which I actually kind of like Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Desperado for all the wrong reasons. I liked Sin City for the first half hour of it before it got old, and stale. And
never cared for Sin
if you have a sense of appreciation for who the guy what the guy did later, you can also like El Mariachi.
Yeah.
It was cool. He was. I mean, it's a filmmaker's kind of movie.
Yeah.
I kind of sort of appreciate Robert Rodriguez and his vision, but I do understand sort of where he falls flat. And if you understand that, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into with this movie.
Yeah. Well,
Even though he didn't direct it, he produced it.
yeah, this is. I mean, I thought mostly it was all right. I mean, as far as the staging and direction, it was. It wasn't. It did, at least didn't suffer from the Michael Bay syndrome that so many action movies try and do now.
Yeah, there were only 2 explosions, I think. in the whole
Yeah,
movie.
there's only 2 explosions, and
Maybe
and the cutting was normal.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of action scenes built in the editing room,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah, it wasn't just
that was actually really refreshing. And there's some, but not really.
yeah. It had a nice. I think it had a nice, small, solid B movie feel, which I like.
Yeah, and like we talked about, Topher Grace and the other character, they were both pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought Topher Grace worked better than you would think he would, being that he's at least apparently out of place when you meet him in the first of the movie. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell is
They
Eric
dropped him in
Foreman
just
doing here?
really just. It's like, boom, comic relief.
Yeah, it's like, Red's gonna be really mad now. if you like Predator movies, if you think the first one is an untouchable classic, you'll. I mean, if you're really nitpicky, I mean, when it comes to this kind of movie, I know what I expect. You know, I don't expect the chemistry of the first one because the materials of the first one are not exactly.
We both sort of agreed about 6 out of 10, 5.5.
Yeah,
6 out of 10.
yeah. I mean, it's
and
he's a bit more nitpicky about it, but at the same time, it's not exactly a masterpiece, so it's okay.
The not to put too finely a point on it, it's basically the only movie out right now that's really worth watching. I mean, I've seen Eclipse. You don't want to see Eclipse.
Yeah.
And I hear.
I mean, I don't want to see it. I know I
hear
don't want to see it.
scary.
I think that's about the only, and this is the only one that's actually any competent or interesting out there.
Yeah. So I mean, if you have to spend $10 to see it, it's there are worse ways to spend your $10.
Yeah.
But it's not a movie that I could really recommend as a movie. But if you need to see a movie, by the way, that was Alex. He's my friend Alex.
Oh,
Go check out Predators if you have absolutely nothing else to do.
or if you're like me, you can't get enough of that monster movie shit. I'm a
Well, in
monster
that
movie
case, they're already gone, dude. I mean, you're preaching to the choir that's already left.
fan. Okay. All right. If you're undecided or you don't, or it's just like, okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, listen to Sean. If you're like me, I mean, you're already there. I mean, you're probably going to see it.
I was actually surprised with the midnight showing. I didn't expect it to be packed.
I my expectations for this. I mean, it pretty much matched exactly what I expected it to be. It didn't go below.
I was hoping for a better script, but I mean, I will take what I got.
Yeah,
Now.
it was. It was.
I didn't leave the theater in a blind rage.
Yeah, and it was competently executed at the very least, which is something sadly you cannot say about so many movies that are released in theaters now. Anyway,
I'm gonna get home and get some sleep because I got to work in the morning.
yeah, I got a day off to enjoy, so I'm probably just gonna sleep in and everything, and then I go back to the grind.
So, final verdict: see it if you feel like it.
Yeah, which
That's
is
about
pretty much
I can't put it any more simply than that. If
Yeah.
you like to, if you think you might like it, you'll probably enjoy it to some degree. Plus, there's no competition for it right now.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go home and get some sleep. I'm going to take him home first.
And we'll possibly see you next week after Inception.
Yep.
All right.
After Inception or Conception?
Oh, dude. All right.
Sorry.
Bye.